Seatbelts are fastened. Lou Williams for the win. Bingo!
Oh my goodness.
By Landry, Ariza drop down. Kobe! Oh! Up high! Down hard! Kobe Bryant!
They do have a timeout. Decide not to use it. Curry, way downtown. Bang! Bang! Oh, what a shot from Curry!
Kawhi aggressive to the right.
What's going on, guys? Welcome to another post-game live here on Dime Dropper for the 2024-25 season. Before we get started, you already know the drill. Make sure you subscribe on YouTube at Dime Dropper so you know every single time we post a video, all things NBA, LA sports, of course, LA Clippers. And, man, we got a game to talk about tonight. I did not expect to go live this late. Apologies. Been a really busy weekend. Had to drive over to Orange County for 2 AAU tournaments. Did get to meet Cuttino Mobley, though, one of the 06 Clippers. Got to tell him how much I appreciated him. But, yeah, you can also listen to this podcast on Apple Podcasts and Spotify. And follow your boy on social media, Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok at Dime Dropper Pod. Clippers, 76ers, our second game against them this season. And, man, we smacked them in the face. We're on fire right now. 5 wins in a row. 7 straight at the Intuit Dome. We're on a 4-game road trip now, East Coast. Got Philly. Got Boston tomorrow, Monday. Back-to-back city. Doesn't get tougher than that with the best team in the NBA in terms of the defending champions on a second half of a back-to-back. Then we got Washington. That should be a win. And then Minnesota on ESPN on Friday. That should be tougher. But we're rolling right now. 5 straight wins. Did I say 4? I think I said 5. 5 straight wins. And where do I begin? 125-99. Clipper Nation, let's get some W's in the chat right now. Because I did not think if Kawhi Leonard missed the first 18 games of the season, that we would be 11-7. I thought there were some ways where we could overachieve. You know, Norman Powell taking a leap. That's definitely happened. If it's a Zubac's taking a leap, that's definitely happened. James Harden playing even better than I expected. Not quite. He's actually shot even worse than I expected, but rebounding has been great, and he's still been amazing. And then you've got the other guys. Chris Dunn's, the Derek Jones. I was saying if the defense was even better than I expected, and that's where we should begin. This is the best defensive team the Clippers have had in my time as a fan in 20 years. And I checked the defensive ratings earlier, and our lowest defensive rating was a tie from what I found. If somebody can find different or my study was wrong, please correct me. But I found that the defensive rating of the 2013 Clippers and the 2006 Clippers was identical, and I think it was 103.8. I'm going to double check that right now. Sorry, 103.6, highest defensive rating. But right now, right, it's harder to guard. It's harder to guard for various reasons. Spacing's different, can't be as physical, all that. So many different reasons. So our defensive rating is not going to be as high as, say, the 06 Clippers or 2013 when teams are playing with 2 power forwards and it wasn't as, many shooters around. You know what I'm saying? The spread pick and roll didn't change the game yet. This is the best defensive team I've ever seen. The Clippers have. And if you look at the personnel of the team, you can see immediately why. And the first guy we got to go to is Chris Dunn. We got to be talking first team all defense at this rate. Now, admittedly, and as everybody knows that watches or listens to my every episode or every live, I have not been able to keep up with other NBA teams so far this season the way I normally would. Even the Lakers, who I will be talking about another game I watched of theirs after I finished talking about the Clipper game, but it was a little bit ago. So I'm kind of out of touch right now because I've been so busy. But of course, with the Clippers, I have to be up to every game. I would be shocked if there were 5 defenders in the NBA right now that are playing better defense than Chris Dunn. On ball, off ball, his screen navigation is incredible. The way he can get through staggered screens, which are 2 screens being set, unbelievable the way he navigates, active hands. And I've been making comments about his anticipation off the ball and the way he shoots the gap for an interception several times on this channel this season. But Jim Jackson even called it out, calling him, like a free safety. On that back line, he is so alert and ready to anticipate where the pass is going, and he just throws his body around, diving on the floor. Inspired performances from him. And right now, we got to give Ty Lue a lot of credit. Even though I'm a Terrence Mann guy, his decision to put Terrence Mann on the bench and now start Chris Dunn, it's what's contributing to a lot of our faster starts because our defense is so good. And those beginning of basketball games at every level, sometimes it can be like both teams are just kind of like shaking the rust off, just getting into the game. When you don't allow easy buckets because your defense is so good, it allows your offense to take time to settle in so you're not out of a game or you prevent that early run from a team. But then if your offense is getting going, like ours was tonight, and you have that defense, you're building leads to start games. And Brian Seaman had a stat tonight on the broadcast that I was shocked by, where he said we have had the most double-digit leads of any team this NBA season, which is insane. We've had a habit of blowing some of those leads, but overall, that's still very impressive. And you know what was impressive? Our first quarter. We set that tone. We came out and smacked him in the face with our defense. Chris Dunn guarding Tyrese Maxey. We're going to switch 1 through 4, but offensively, we got off to a great start. By the way, so they started Yabusele at the 5, which means, they're going to switch a lot more. And I thought we did a very good job throughout the game of going to Zoo and playing through Zoo. But it was really James Harden that got the party started. He was getting booed on every touch the first 3 quarters of the game before the Sixers had all the life sucked out of that fucking arena and they had no booze left to give. But James, the way he came out, here's the thing, right? The fact of the matter is we're 3-0 without Norman Powell. James Harden has shot pretty poorly this season, and we're still over 500 without Kawhi Leonard. So when James Harden's shooting well and he's making shots like 3-pointers, pulling up, going to his left, coming off screens on a dime, like he was in this game, other teams are in trouble. And by the way, how many 3-pointers did he get fouled on tonight? That was insane. But he got an and 1 early on in the game. First basket of the game was on a catch and shoot 3 off of amazing ball movement. And you know who's doing an incredible job as a role player on both ends of the floor? And we knew he would. And it's an absolute bargain, the deal that we got him at. Derrick Jones Jr. Not only is he knocking down the 3 ball, but because he's knocking down that 3 ball at a very high percentage so far this season, which is 42%, he is now getting teams to close out harder on him, which opens up the downhill game for him. And if you let a plane get a running start, you know what's going to happen. It's going to take off. Plane's got to get a running start. You know what I mean? But a plane's got to get going, accelerate, and then take off. That's Derrick Jones Jr. attacking the rim and also making great extra passes when he's on the perimeter or driving and kicking. He even had this one nice pass he had baseline where he just, rifled it or whipped it across the opposite baseline. And then defensively, so good at shooting the gap as well, making himself big and just Xing out and closing passing angles, shortening passing windows. He and Chris Dunn out there, it's just menacing. And it also makes James Harden look better defensively. Not only does it motivate guys to play better defense, but they're literally just covering more ground. They're able to cover more ground. And you can just tell, you can't really hear it always because they don't, you can't hear what the players are saying all the time in broadcast, but you can see that the Clippers team is communicating extremely well. They're doing all the little things, closing out with a hand up, making teams go to options C and D by passing the ball and working deep into the clock, ball pressure, good ball denial. It starts with Chris Dunn and Derrick Jones Jr., but of course, having Ivica Zubats down there, That's a luxury in itself. The combinations for great defensive teams a lot of times are rim protection and perimeter D. We've got both of those. As far as how good James Harden was in the first quarter, he had 12 points, and he was so good that the 76ers were going to a legitimate box and one. Not someone being guarded and the teams are loading up behind, a straight up box and one. You rarely see that in the NBA, which tells you what kind of gravity James Harden still has at age 35. But at the end of the first quarter, the Clippers went with a total bench unit. Mo Bamba, Terrence Mann, Jordan Miller, Nico Batum, and KPJ. But yeah, it was a season high first quarter for the Clips. Had some really nice Nico Batum tip passes on rebounds in that first quarter, making his return to Philadelphia. Gotta love it. And I got some comments to make about the Terrence Mann, Jordan Miller conversation. So we got Jordan Miller in the game, and he was starting to hoop, man. He does an amazing job of getting 2 feet in the paint. Even as a rookie, as a sophomore, it feels like he's a rookie though. But even as a sophomore, he is more decisive with what he does with the basketball than Terrence Mann. There were times where Terrence was coming off screens and he looked like he was going to pull up for a jumper, and he just didn't know what to do. Now, the three-point shooting has gotten better the last couple of games, and he had a very solid second half. But in the first half in this game, his minutes weren't great. And Jordan Miller looks a lot more deliberate, and he just seems like he's better at putting the ball in the basket. When he gets in the paint, he has fantastic touch. So I'm saying that to say that let's say you do add Kawhi Leonard back. Terrence Mann is on the standard contract getting paid $16 million. And right now he's underperforming for that contract, and I'm his biggest fan. But Jordan Miller might be better than him. Now, I don't think Jordan Miller is going to take his spot in the rotation because Jordan Miller is on a two-way. But when Kawhi comes back and Norm is back, you're using 11 guys if you add those two back. And Terrence Mann would be the guy that's subbed out right now. So it's just the honest truth. We led by as many as 19 in the first half. It wasn't a great second quarter. We kind of just traded baskets, and it was 23-23 in that one. But again, holding them under 25 points a game, you've got to love that. Thought we got great production out of Zubac, whether it be on diving to the basket with open space, short roll situations. He's getting so much better at passing out of those doubles. And remember, when they're going small, we got to continue to feed through Zoo, and the game seems to be slowing down for him. And I think Derrick Jones Jr. did a fantastic job of diving when Zubac was getting doubled. And in this game, Zoo had 2 turnovers and he had 4 assists. So more assists than turnovers. We like to see that. He even had some high-low lobs to Derrick Jones Jr. in the dunker spot. So you love to see it. We were up by a score of 62-50 at half. And coming up, going to talk about the second half. But before that, let's go to Mint Mobile, who this video is in partnership with. Super chats are turned on, by the way. If you want to drop $1 or a dime, any donation is appreciated for your boy. Ever wanted to cut back on your monthly bills? You've got health insurance, you got different kinds of insurance, you got your TV, cable, you've got your phone bill, you've got your electricity, and you want to cut down, simplify that. Well, that's why I'm so intrigued by Mint Mobile, who this video is in partnership with. They offer premium wireless for just $15 a month. I can get high-speed data and unlimited talk and text on the nation's largest 5G network. I can even bring my own phone along with my current phone number and existing contacts, so I'm not sacrificing anything. I've used Mint Mobile, and the thing about Mint Mobile is it's not hard to switch your service. Big Wireless wants you to think it's hard, but it's really not. Switching to Mint is super easy. Thanks to digital eSIM cards, which most phones now have, you can sign up and activate immediately right on your phone from the comfort of your home. If your phone doesn't have an eSIM, Mint will ship you a new SIM card for free. So if you want to save little money without the sacrifice, go to https://trymintmobile.com/dimedropper. That link will be in the description so you can get started. Switching your plan takes as little as 15 minutes. That's Mint Mobile. All right, Clipper Nation, how we doing tonight? Super chats are turned on if you want to drop $1 or a dime. Whew. Second half talk. Wasn't really much to say, but the third quarter, what an absolute masterclass. It started out with Derrick Jones Jr. cutting off of a Zoo double team with a little jelly lay, a little up and under, a little hang time. The athleticism we've got now is just amazing. And then in transition, Derrick Jones Jr. catch and shoot 3, whop. And then Chris Dunn scored to make it a 7-0 run to begin the half. I mean, just those two guys, you know, Chris Dunn is making the who am I getting for my red jersey conversation tough, because I was sold on Norman Powell about a week or so ago. But now Chris Dunn, I mean, he's making me think. The way he's defending is just crazy. First team. Let's start campaigning for it, Clipper Nation. I'm serious. First team. He's been unreal. Then Harden and Zoo just had some great connections in that second half, whether it be short roll, whether it be Harden just making great passes from the top, just passes that only he can really make on this team. I mean, James Harden, he's really stepped it up offensively the last couple of games. I can't lie. He's been fantastic this season. I mean, this is what he does. He's an all-time floor raiser, but to this degree, how well we're playing, it's definitely not just James Harden, but he deserves a ton of credit. This is amazing what the Clippers are doing right now, ladies and gentlemen. I said 12 seed material without Kawhi, and it was because I did not think Norman Powell would be averaging 23 points. I knew Chris Dunn was good defensively, but I didn't think he was this good. And Zubats were actually playing through him. And KPJ, don't look now, but he's kind of stepped up lately. He had a decent game again in this one, had some nice drive and kick moments, found Mo Bamba for an open left wing 3. Let's see what his stat line looked like. Yeah, 11 points, 5 rebounds, 5 assists, and a block. He did have 4 turnovers, but he was 5 for 11 from the field, did miss his 2 threes. He's not been shooting well from 3 this year at all. 1 for 2 from the foul line in 24 minutes. So KPJ continuing to provide that secondary offensive creation and getting 2 feet in the paint more frequently now, plus scoring double-figure points, is keeping Bones Highland out of the rotation. And to be honest, he's deserving of it right now. But in the third quarter, we outscored the Sixers 35-22. We were just running them out the gym, defense to offense, getting steals, getting in the passing lanes. Derrick Jones Jr., Chris Dunn, getting them the fuck out of there, getting them booed in their own gym. And the funny part is we turned the ball over more than they did, but I would like to see the points off turnovers. Let's check. We turned the ball over 17 times. They turned the ball over 14 times. We scored 24 points off of their turnovers. So there you go. We scored 14 more points in the paint, 64-50. And a lot of that's because we do a better job keeping the ball in front of us than most teams. We shot 58% from the field. They shot 39.5%. They also shot a putrid 23% from 3. We shot 40% from 3. So we just were rolling on all cylinders. To me, it's the best performance of the season, not bar none, but just overall. But the Sixers are dog shit. How about that? You spent $200 million on that clown. You deserve what you're getting. You deserve what you're getting. And I have no ill will towards the Philadelphia 76ers fans and the organization historically. You know, they're one of the storied franchises that built this amazing game. But they made a huge mistake signing Paul George to that contract. And they're going to, reap what they sow with this one. 3-13. You better be in the lottery. Oh, my God. It's funny. You just got absolutely clapped. And we're missing our best player, too. Now, you're missing your other guy, but that's what you get. When you sign off on Paul George, you're getting the potential of injuries with him, and you signed him for $50 million a year. So desperate when your superstar player has not even proven that he can hold up his end of the bargain. Podcast B, but hey, coming up on Podcast B, presented by Wave Sports Entertainment, we're going to analyze our 3-13 stretch as I'm sitting there yawning on the bench. Let me tell you something. When we get Kawhi back, if we get Kawhi back, I should say, if you put the Kawhi Leonard we saw last year on this team, we're better this year than we were with Paul George. I swear to God, any Paul George year. This team is going to be so locked down, and you add in a star like that can, that can score, that can isolate, that can take a load off of James for real, yo, we could like be in the best team in the West conversation. If you don't agree, that means you're either overrating somebody in the West too much or you don't believe in defense. Defense wins chips. We stay in games against good teams because we guard, except for the Houston Rockets. They have our number right now. And then we smack the fuck out of weak teams like the Sixers because we guard. So it was great to see that. Let's all laugh at the Sixers. Throw some laughing emojis in the chat, ladies and gentlemen. Come on. We're pissing on their grave. It's smoke. It's really smoke for real. But yeah, that was it. 125-99. Let's read the lines. First for the Philadelphia 76ers. I mean, do we really need to even... Who's relevant enough for me to read their stat line in this game? How about some former Clippers like Reggie? Let's get some Reggies in the chat. 7 points, 4 assists on 3 for 4 shooting and 1 for 2 from 3. Love me some Reggie, but if you're playing him in your rotation in 2025, you're not a serious team. Eric Gordon, let's get some EJs in the chat for EJ. 7 points for him on 3 for 5 shooting and 1 for 3 from deep. Always good to see Eric Gordon. KJ Martin, former Clipper for like 2 weeks. 4 points, 4 rebounds, 3 assists on 1 for 3 shooting. And then the starters, Caleb Martin only played 13 minutes. They were using him as that one in the box and 1 against Harden. He went 1 for 8 from the field and 0 for 1 from 3 and had 3 points. It was a minus 25. So yikes, get Caleb Martin the fuck out of there. And then you had Jared McCain, who's been taking the world by storm with his performances. And he's been pretty impressive, pretty aggressive player. You know, gets the basket. He had 18 points, but 10 of the 18 points were on free throws. He was 3 for 15 from the field and 2 for 11 from 3. Kelly Oubre, 12 points on 6 for 11 shooting. He was 0 for 4 from 3. He was a minus 40. I can't remember the last time reading a box score and I saw somebody that was minus 40. And then you had Gershon Yabusele, who was picked up by the Sixers after his amazing Olympics with France. He had 6 points and 6 boards on 2 for 6 shooting and 1 for 4 from 3. And then Tyrese Maxey, you knew he'd be the guy. We only allowed him to get 13 shots up, 17 points, 4 rebounds, 4 assists, 1 turnover on 5 for 13 shooting, 3 for 6 from 3, and 4 for 4 from the foul line. So Tyrese Maxey's a guy that's given us a lot of problems in the past couple of seasons. We really kept him in check. I don't know what currency. Okay. 50 Danish crowns is $7 to the dime. Big up the grind. Appreciate you so much, man. Love that. Shout out Denmark. Shout out Christian Eriksen. Absolute legend. Rocky Adams says, what's good? I agree with the 96ers, LOL. Can't wait for you to be a guest in the Sports Avenue Twisted podcast this Tuesday evening. Yes, Rocky. Thank you. Appreciate the super chat, everybody. But yeah, that's it with the Sixers. Let's talk about the lines for your LA Clippers, or as Eric Smith would say, your LA Clippers. Kevin Porter, I already talked about him. 11 points, 5 boards, 5 assists on 5 for 11 shooting. He's been awesome lately. Kobe Brown got some minutes, got 6 points, 4 boards, and 2 dimes on 3 for 4 shooting. Missed his only 3 in 13 minutes of play. You had a little bit of Bones Highland, who had 5 points and a steal, but he had 3 turnovers in 6 minutes, which is not a good job of, or not a good way of making your case to play more. And then you had Nico, who had 10 minutes, and it's amazing because his stat line just would never show that he was solid and very good defensively. But he had 3 points, 3 boards, 3 assists on 1 for 5 shooting and 1 for 4 from 3 in 10 minutes. And then Mo Bamba, I think he's just been very, very solid in his first couple of games as a Clipper, doing things on the glass side of things. And then he was actually hedging a little bit on screen and rolls. I think we're just kind of testing him in different pick and roll coverages. Like we've had him in drop coverage some games. We had him switching 1 through 5 against the Kings. We had him hedging today. So, you know, I think just working him out and seeing what different kinds of coverages that suit him best. But 7 points, 4 rebounds, and 2 blocks for Mo on 3 for 5 shooting and 1 for 2 from 3, slowly building his way to making himself a positively impactful basketball player that can be known for his name more than Sheck West's song about him. Terrence Mann, 22 minutes for him, 13 points, a rebound, an assist, a steal, a turnover. on 5 for 6 shooting, 1 for 2 from 3, and 2 for 4 from the foul line. So again, Terrence Mann with another 50% shooting game from 3, albeit on low volume, that should increase his percentage to maybe 30%. But he's slowly getting that up there. And I think once he starts seeing that percentage increase, it's going to increase his confidence as well. But again, I still stand by what I said, where if Kawhi comes back, I would take Terrence out of the rotation over anyone else. Because you're taking Jordan Miller out if Norm comes back. But solid game from Terrence overall. That's it for the bench. Now the starters. Amir Coffey, solid game again, just very efficient on both ends of the floor. 7 points, 3 rebounds, 2 assists, no turnovers, which you love to see. All his shots were threes. He made 2 out of 5. He was 1 for 2 from the foul line in 25 minutes. He's been so solid this season on both ends of the floor. Happy for him. Then you've got Derrick Jones Jr. 18 points, 3 boards, 2 assists, 3 steals, no turnovers. What more can you ask for? Defensively on the ball, great. Off ball, the way he covers ground is amazing. The way he shoots the gap, the way he anticipates passes and gets his hand on passes that you think he's just too far away to get a hand on that, but he just finds a way. 7 for 10 from the field, made his only 3, and he was 3 for 4 from the foul line. I mean, this guy, he's been fantastic. Then there's Chris Dunn, who's just winning this fan base over with the game. First team. Let's get some first teams in the chat, Clipper Nation. 9 points, 3 rebounds, 1 assist, 2 steals, and a turnover on 4 for 5 shooting. Made his only 3 in 23 minutes. He was a plus 38, which was the highest of any player in the game. The guy has been an absolute beast so far this season. And then you've got the 2 big boys. Big Zoo with another double-double, and we really fed him consistently throughout the game. You're seeing him get more comfortable in the post. You're seeing him get more comfortable passing out of those short roll situations. It's just slowing down for him. And honestly, I think this stretch without Paul George and Kawhi Leonard playing basketball next to him has been the best thing for his development. Of course, James Harden helping him and making life easier for him with some of those easy baskets. Like sometimes James Harden just does an amazing job of putting his defender in jail where he's behind him. And then when that happens, the big is forced to step up, and then he just lobs it up to Zoo. And he had one of those moments in this game. But 16 points, 12 boards, 4 assists, 1 block, did have 2 turnovers, but he shot 80% from the field, 8 for 10, even had a beautiful jump hook over Andre Drummond. And he was a plus 35. It's been excellent this season. Then my player of the game, James Harden, 23 points, 2 rebounds, 8 assists, 1 steal, did turn the ball over 4 times, but I thought he just set an offensive tone. 4 for 10 from the field, 3 for 7 from 3, and a perfect 12 for 12 from the foul line. We did shoot 58% from the field and 40 from 3, but I think the 76% from the foul line could be a bit better. Terrence Mann, 2 for 4. Don't love that. Kevin Porter Jr., 1 for 2. Also don't love that. But yeah, that's our win. 125.99. I mean, look, we're on a roll right now. I'm not going to make any big declarations or statements. All I know is, and it's too early to standings watch, but we're in the mix. And I think we just got to take it one game at a time, play our brand of basketball, and hopefully people will start to notice very soon. Before we go to my latest Laker game I watched, I got to tell you a little something about DraftKings. DraftKings, the NBA season is back. A new season means new ways to get into the action at DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NBA. Who's crashing the boards? Who's draining threes from beyond the arc? Get behind your favorite players in the prop bets you can make on DraftKings, the home of NBA player props. First time, new DraftKings customers bet $5 to get $200 in bonus bets instantly. Every point counts with DraftKings Sportsbook. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app and use code ABTV. That's code ABTV for new customers to get $200 in bonus bets when you bet just $5 only on DraftKings. The crown is yours. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. In New York, call 8778-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467 369. In Connecticut, help is available for problem gambling. Call 888-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org. Please play responsibly. On behalf of Boot Hill Casino and Resort, Kansas. 21 plus age and eligibility varies by jurisdiction. Void in New Hampshire, Oregon, Ontario. Bonus bets expire 168 hours after issuance. For additional terms and responsible gaming resources, see dkng.com/bball. All right. Now it's time to talk about the Lakers, the most recent game I watched from them, and it was a minute ago, actually. It was their game against the Toronto Raptors at home, and it was a game where Anthony Davis got poked in the eye. And I'm just doing this because I want to make sure I cover as many Laker games as I can, even if it's late, to have a receipt on them. And this game was really, really weird because they began the game completely bullshitting. And I'm surprised that they did that, given the way that they lost the Detroit Pistons not too far before that. But they were nonsense in the beginning. 34-26, the Raptors outscored them in the first quarter. Anthony Davis was pretty dominant, but it was when Anthony Davis got poked in the eye, they were surging back. But LeBron James, he took over the game. He was making the right read and pick and roll every single time, whether it be them playing drop, going under the screen. He's just the game against. There are certain teams that LeBron James plays against, like these bad teams like Toronto, who at this point of the season had not won one game on the road, where he can just manipulate the defense so easily. And he's been doing it for so long. It's just like, if you press up on him, he still has the speed to get by you, but also all he needs is you to be on his shoulder and he can just bully you. Like the fact that he's so strong still makes him so hard to guard one-on-one. He gets 2 feet in the paint as easily as almost any player in the NBA still at his age, and his passing ability obviously is up there with anyone. So when he's got 2 feet in the paint, with all the spacing there is in today's game, I mean, the amount of open shots he's creating is astonishing. And he just was doing a little bit of everything in this one. And it was a second straight triple-double for him. And I know, like, you know, we know what LeBron can do at this age. And I'm not the biggest LeBron, like, D-rider or anything like that. I'm actually very critical of him. But to see what he's still doing at age 39 is just, like, manipulating these teams to get a good shot every single time down. Like, and not even, like, having to work that hard to do it, like just seeing everything from the top of the key and just fizzing the ball to different guys. And then you got Jackson Hayes coming off the bench. He's had a really good start to this season, the first 10 games for the Lakers. Now, I haven't seen any games since that, but the first 10 games, because let's see how many Laker games I've missed the first 10. Saw opening night. We did a lot. We did a live on the first 3 games. We did a little talking about basketball and Figueroa with the Phoenix and Cleveland game. So I watched those. I talked about the game at Toronto and Detroit. And yeah, I've talked about every single one of the first 10 Laker games on this channel. So I haven't really missed one in terms of at least touching on it. And in the first 10 games, I think Jackson Hayes had been really good. 12.6 boards. He's gotten several blocks, 4 for 6 in the field, just doing a good job being active on the offensive glass and being in that dunker spot. A guy that's in a little bit of a slump at this stage that I was talking about, these first 10 games, was Rui Hachimura. Shot really poorly the last 2 wins. 4 points in this particular game, 2 for 11 from the field, and 0 for 5 from 3. But Anthony Davis, you know, he got poked in the eye, and apparently he just doesn't want to use goggles. We talked about that on the last episode of Basketball and Figueroa with Edwin. By the way, you can check that out. That's the only podcast that discusses Lakers, Clippers, and Sparks basketball. So every episode of that show is in a playlist on my channel. By the way, check out the playlist tab on my channel. It's very, like, thorough about different sections of things I've done over the years, but AD, 22 points, 4 rebounds, 3 assists, 1 steal, and 2 blocks on 6 for 8 shooting. Made both his threes and was 8 for 10 from the foul line. Austin Reeves had a really good one in this one. 27 points. He had this beautiful behind-the-back pass. 1 rebound, 6 assists, a steal, and no turnovers. Anthony Davis, Rui Hachimura, Cam Reddish, Austin Reeves, and Dalton Connect all had 0 turnovers, and Jackson Hayes. So they had 5 turnovers as a team. That's huge. So when they took over that second half, it was taking care of the ball. It was LeBron getting good shots and just the quality showing up. Just the quality showing up. The Raptors turned the ball over 18 times, and the Lakers scored 20 points off those turnovers. They also outscored the Raptors 60-48 in the points in the paint department. They shot 51% to the Raptors 45%, but LeBron was the star. And by the way, on D'Angelo Russell bench watch, he had 18 points in his first game coming off the bench against Philly, 15 points in this one coming off the bench. He was 6 for 13 from the field and 3 for 9 from 3. And then LeBron, the player of the game for me, 19 points, 10 rebounds, 16 assists, 3 turnovers on 6 for 14 shooting. A rare game where he shot badly from 3 in this one. 0 for 3 from deep, 7 for 7 from the foul line. So a solid win for the Lakers. At that point of the season, they were 6-4. But anyway, all right, now to the comment section. So by the way, thank you all for tuning in. I will be live tomorrow night against after the Celtics game. Peace and have a great night. Go Clippers. Oh, by the way, Rams lost to the Eagles. That was Sunday Night Football. It was tough to watch that. I just think our defense isn't nearly as good without Aaron Donald, obviously. Our D-line, our run defense, our defense in general. And the Eagles are a very good team. But those fumbles, I mean, they're so costly. And the stadium being taken over by Eagles fans like that, like, it's funny how they insult the Clippers. I mean, I'm a Rams fan, but it's funny they insult the Clippers. We don't have our stadium taken over like that, except for by the Warriors, who, by the way, did not take over necessarily the other night. And like the Lakers and Celtics, that's it. And then maybe the Bulls. The Rams and Chargers, it happens frequently. But all right, guys, have a great night. All right, let's read the comments. Clippers are for real, bro. BT my ass, bro. I got to give it to Coffee Norman Miller. PG was holding those boys back. Bring on the Celtics. Where we at? How does this defense keep improving, bro? Chemistry. It's so satisfying that Clippers are doing better than the Sixers, and I'm not even a Clippers fan. Yes, sir. Yo, Dime, we're killing it. Yes, sir. Andrew Kassar says James Harden might be the system. Never seen James so happy. So glad Paul George is gone. What's up, Alian? Alsan Ilyasa. W's in the chat. Dyson Daniels, Dunn, and Wemby, my favorites to see on defense so far. I'm not scared of any team if Kawhi is back healthy. NBA teams can't handle the wall, bro. What's up, Erod? King Charles says, I wonder what the defensive rating with James Harden has been on the 7-game winning streak. Net rating merchants were gassing up podcast piss and shit. We're better without him. Man. Facts. Chris Dunn is a lock. Love this team. So easy to root for. Most fun I had watching for years. Hi. Sixers fans owe James Harden an apology. Who's the leader of this team? It's definitely James. Thoughts on tomorrow's game? You think we're going to win? I mean, I wouldn't bet on us, but you never know. We have momentum right now. What's up, Ross? His bone sighting. Jordan Miller, all-star potential. I'm praying y'all beat the damn Leprechauns. Thank you, man. Hopefully Pal is available tomorrow. Tomorrow is the real deal. What's up, Daniel Barry? Do you believe we're title contenders? No. Ha, so good. 50 million to do podcasts. Fuck podcast, P. It's all about podcast time. CJ, D3 Flash, 32 Banks says 100% agree. Paul George can't make up his mind on what he wants. Sixers are trash. That's me when I was clowning the Sixers. Reggie. Our pieces are active and doing the work on D, and our defensive rating and conference seed shows that. PG and Kawhi resting was bad for our defense and the bad habits we were talking about for years. Absolutely. EJ. He titled his podcast, Players Only Meeting Leak. What's next for Sixers featuring Reggie Jackson? What an absolute loser. Love Reggie when he's on, not so much when he's off. TikTok boy got clamped today. Clippers got Danish fans. Let's go. I'm rocking with it. Minus 40 for marrying Harden's misses. LFG Clips. Shout out from Reno. Jack Garabadian says, let's go Clippers. I mean 76ers, not 96ers. The Clippers are scary good, better than ever in the Kawhi era. Great point of attack defenders and Harden Kawhi fit next to each other. Clippers taking over Los Angeles. Well, I don't know about that. The wall's going to end LeBron's career. I can see it. You got to love Mo Bamba. Hey, Alexa, play Mo Bamba. Sheck West. I got hoes. DJ is greater than MJ. I've seen enough. You can guard Luka now easily. Okay, you can never easily guard Luka. You can guard anyone, basically. First team D, baby. Chris Dunn. First team D. First team all defense. Houston and OKC are the only teams that scare me in the West because we don't match up well against them at all. It's their youth and athleticism. Would love to see Kawhi back, though. Dungeon, Chris Dunn for first team all defensive. Zoo getting real comfortable making plays as the roller now. Loved his look off assist to DJJ cutting back door for the layup. Absolutely. NBA never would. First team, screw the Lakers. I feel you, but this, LA Sports Channel, brother. Not even legal in CA. What's up, Dime? Happy Sunday night. Austin Reeves and D'Lo are trash. Says, it's about flipping Cali. Are the Lakers back to their losing ways? Dude, hell nah. I've been doing this since before the CJ. Have you been here since day one? Because since the beginning of my channel, I've been doing Laker coverage as well. Otherwise, I'd be pigeonholing myself to a small audience when I've been watching Laker games my whole life. They have the biggest fan base in the league. So, and they're an LA team, and this is an LA sports channel. So we have Dodger World Series content on here and Ram stuff. I do Locked On Clippers. If you want only Clippers and you can't stand to see any other team, then subscribe to Locked On Clippers. But when I leave one day, you're just going to stop following me. So, not that I'm going to plan on leaving Locked On anytime soon. I love what I do. But anyway. Lakers are heading for decades of losing basketball. After LeBron, Lakers will be done for 100 years. Lakers have no defense. They're food. You can't be both Lakers and Clippers coverage, man. Well, I've been doing it for 5 years. What are you going to do to stop me? Boycott me? No, I'm not going to pick one because you say so. You're a fucking random guy on the internet. Dime Dropper makes money off the Lakers. It's okay. Not even, but I get... Do you know how many good Laker fans have followed me through this? All right, bye. Yeah, real Clipper fans. Because you Clipper fans that consider yourselves real are more Clipper fans, are more Laker haters than Clipper fans. You became Clipper fans out of spite. I don't give a shit. I didn't become a Clipper fan out of spite. I became a Clipper fan because they were local and I got to go to games for less money. That's why I became a Clipper fan. So you can leave. Bye. I'm going to still build subscribers and hit 12,000 without you. So Clips have held their opponents under 100 for the 4th game in a row. Yeah, man, we've been locked down. Clippers should put a WNBA team. No, they should not. We don't need another WNBA team in LA. We don't need more division. Dime, I love you, bro, but can you talk with the Lakers? Gonna have to. Okay, fine. Bye. LeBron doesn't seem happy with the Lakers. Does he not? I don't know about that. Sheesh. Who do you think has the better chance rookie of the year? Dalton Connect, Jared McCain, Alex Sarr, Zach Edey. Is Reacher Say just not in consideration? Call me crazy, but we got a shot tomorrow. 45% chance. I like that. Thank you, Max Vega. We appreciate you, bro. I thank you. Dime, we're better without PG. Do you think so? We're 11-7, so no, but it's because we have Kawhi and PG both out. If we had Kawhi, yes. No offense, but I expected the Eagles to beat your Rams. It's not offensive. Fiend Star says, thank you, man. What kind of money is that? Australian? Great POD. Great pod. Booyah. Has Harden made you change your mind about his game? Why would I have my mind change about his game when he's been the same James Harden? It's not like I haven't watched him play. You acting like there was these misconceptions I have about him. Like, oh, you didn't know the real Harden. What the fuck are you talking about? I watch basketball, man. We got to support our dog. Thanks, bro. I like all your content. Thank you, man. If you're more of a Clipper fan than you are a basketball fan, then you're not going to like my channel. Because my channel, this is a basketball channel. It's an LA sports centric. It's an LA focus on basketball. Clippers first, Lakers second, LA sports next, NBA next. That's how it goes. I didn't watch the Nuggets game yet, Stump. You're funny. All right, guys, anything else? We can live without chemotherapy LAC over there, and CJ hates the Lakers more than he likes the Clippers Banks. But 74 of you in here, 80 plus at one point. Really appreciate it. Over midnight. If you follow Diamond Lives, it's not about me not liking Harden. It's about not liking the way he plays basketball, which he's still playing. He's playing that way. Look how many times he gets fouled on threes, bruh. How was that first one a fucking foul? If you want to get real and take the bias out of it. How was that first one a foul that they reviewed and still gave him? I don't understand. He's insane how he's conned all these refs. I'm not a fan of his game, and I never will be. I don't care how well he plays. I can separate what he's doing. I still say he's my player of the game, but I'm not going to fucking change my opinion on the way he's playing when he's just dribbling at the top of the key, and he's very one-dimensional in that sense. It's his approach is the same. It's top of the key, everything with the defense in front. He's great at making reads. He's a great pick-and-roll player. That's about it. He's great at pick and roll. Doesn't move without the ball. Reaches a lot on D. Gambles. He wants to play his way, which is with the ball in his hands a lot. And he dribbles a lot on each ISO. But other than that, he's brilliant with the ball in terms of getting guys open shots and being a pick and roll god. So there you go. All right, we done? You guys got any more questions? Chris Dunn's going to lock up Tatum? Because I got Locked On Clippers to do, the one that's all Clippers for you guys that are just unable to listen. Thank you, Alvin Wright. If you're a James Harden fan and you still listen to me, I appreciate you, even though I don't mess with Harden stands at all. I think you guys are the bane of my existence. Al Horford might rest tomorrow. Should be a big Zoo game. Yeah, we'll take that. Little Red Cornet. Thank you, Alvin Wright. Appreciate you, man. Appreciate everybody that's listening. Except for those two lames that couldn't listen to basketball analysis. Anyway, peace out, guys. Have a great night. Make sure you comment on the video how you're feeling about the game and how you're feeling about the team. Peace.